Promise Resource Network. My name is Sharon Galuski, and today we're going to talk about fear. Fear as it stops us from going deep. Right? I always start with the definition. You know me. Let me take a step back. Let's talk about the warm line real quick. I got the number up there for you. Promise Resource Network has a warm line 24/7. It's free. Holidays, weekends, we're here. If somebody is on your nerves at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, call us. We'll help work through that. We'll talk through that. We'll talk about resources. We'll talk about coping skills. We'll help you get through. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning and your brain is kicking, call us. We're there. And we're people with lived experience, so we understand what it is to have been homeless, incarcerated, hospitalized, um, all these things, the fear, the loneliness, the anger. We understand. We've been somewhere. So when you call us, you're going to get somebody that not only can maybe understand some of what you're going through, but has a possible solution based on what we've done in our life to get to the other side. So it's about sharing experience, strength, and hope. It's about listening to you when you need it here. All right. So it's a great tool for recovery. It's a great tool that we can use anytime, but we got to pick up the phone and use it. And sometimes fear stops us from doing that, right? That's what we're going to talk about today. So the definition of fear, I always start with the definition: an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or is a threat. So fear is real. Fear is real. Fear is a God given emotion. Just like happiness, just like sadness, there's a reason we have fear. Okay? It comes from our base. If you see a bear, please be afraid. There are good reasons to be afraid in the world. There are people, places, and things we need to be cautious of. And that's where, when our fear kicks up, we need to pay attention. Okay? So it's an uncomfortable feeling. It's a feeling of uneasiness. And it can corrode our hopes and dreams. Right? Fear has stopped me from doing things in my life that I really want to do, I really need to do, and I can do. But the fear is there. The fear is there. So, um, fear, there are four types of fear that can hold us back. The first one, I'm sure many of us can relate to. Let me put it on chat in case we got some folks out there already. Oh, we do. I'm going to be getting my phone because I can't see the chat without me getting all up in there, and nobody wants to see that. So I'm going to find us on my phone and follow our chats. Um, but fear of rejection is the first fear to face. We've got some company today. We've got Alan and Iveco here. We're got the panel of experts. So as they pipe in, and we've got the mic on, so don't worry. Just yell out if you got anything to say. Before we get started, does fear hamper you all? What does fear look like in your life?
Fear is not paying a bill.
Okay.
Fear is what the next day is going to bring. Can I handle it?
Yeah.
Being the head of a household and everything.
That's not good. Turn your phone off. I can't get it off. Not having what we need.
Yeah, not having what we
Not
need.
having what we need. And that's gut wrenching, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
It can be, it can be, it can freeze us.
Yeah.
They talk about fear that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn.
Mhm.
And those things definitely apply to me where I've got that anticipation of failure.
Yeah.
And that can be so heavy.
Yeah.
It can be really heavy. All right, I found us. Deidre's in the house. Roberta and Holly. Hello, everybody. Good deal. Thanks for being here today. I'm hoping this is going to be a really informative and fun. Well, fear's never fun to talk about. How about you, Alan? Does fear hamper you in your world?
I think so. Causes me discomfort.
Yeah.
But I still keep. I don't just sit back and moan and groan. I keep at it. Keep trying to do
Yeah.
the right thing for me to make things happen for me.
Yeah.
Take positive.
You are on the right track, Alan. That is like at the end of this, it talks about action and how action dissipates fear. And you're right, when we stay in motion.
See, perfect example. I'm here today. Instead of staying home
Yep.
and worrying what am I going to do, and I just want to retreat to my bed and
It would be easier, wouldn't it? It doesn't get us what we need.
and I'm also going to go to the gym. I listen to my body.
Ah,
My body tells me. I listen when I need to get out and get exercise, de-stress. Set priorities.
nice.
Set priorities and stick to the priorities. Because I get distracted very easily. If I sit at the computer, oh boy.
Yep. Yep. And there's so many things that can cause us fear. There's, I think we used to say that it's lack of information that causes so much um, discomfort in the world. Well, we got nothing but information now
Yeah.
coming from everywhere, and it's not necessarily a good thing.
Right. See, I've been listening to PRN. NPR.
Yes.
And my God, what's going on in the world now? This has got to be one of the most overall stressful periods in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Yeah.
everywhere.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot to be afraid of.
Yeah.
And not to discount that in any way. When you think about what it was like when we were kids, and I know we were oblivious to the grown up problems, for the most part. But I think of children that are going into their teens, young kids now, and the things that they are facing and the information they are getting and what fear that must cause,
Yeah.
Okay, so the first fear that stops us is fear of rejection. And that's a deep one. That's a core fear.
Yeah.
It says it's probably the biggest fear of all. It's where almost all of our fears, all of the other fears we'll be discussing lead to. We've all been rejected in our lives, whether it was a rejection from a university, a job interview, someone from the opposite sex, and rejection hurts. It makes us feel inadequate. It lowers our self-esteem and confidence. In some cases, it can hurt so bad that people might even slip into depression. That fear of rejection, come on, hon, have a seat. That fear of rejection, of being turned away.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a tough one.
That's a really tough one.
That, the cool thing about Promise Resource Network is I don't care who you are, where you've been, what you've done. When you come here, you are guaranteed love, acceptance, and respect. Now, when you go into a place that you know that you're going to get love, acceptance, and respect, fear of rejection is not as intense.
Yeah.
But this is one of the few places I know that I can do that. So this is a safe place. We need a safe harbor to land. We need a place where we know we're loved, where we know we're accepted and respected. So let this be your home base, right? Whether you come here to 2224 the Plaza and hang out with us, or if you're here with us um, on the computer, let this be your safe place. Let this be the place that you know that you're not going to be rejected. Come and see us. Come and see us. Call us. Call the warm line. Let us help you understand that it's okay, that you're okay, that I'm okay. We're all okay in this.
Yeah.
If we just simply take a moment and treat another human being like another human being, that fear of rejection can dissipate so quickly, so quickly. Who do we got in? I think we got some more folks. Mike is not as quick as the others. Okay, so I can't read it, Holly. I'm sorry. So fear of rejection hampers so much in my life because I'm a social being, right? I am one that when I walk into a room, I want to be a part of. Suffering, I think, is the disconnect we have with ourselves, our higher power, other people. That's where suffering comes from in my mind. That complete disconnect from being part of something. From being part of something. So our second fear, excuse me, along with fear of rejection is fear of failure. What if it doesn't work? What if I do everything I can do, I push through, I do this thing, and I still fail? Right? That is scary. Fear of failure is another big reason why many people don't achieve the best life. In fact, fear of failure can be so paralyzing that people simply decide to procrastinate over and over again and never get to their goals. And I can relate to that. I wrote a book in 1999. 1999. I wrote it. It's ready. I need to get it out there. Have I done anything? No. Fear of failure. Fear that it'll be a flop. Fear that I'll be a flop. Right? That not being able to achieve our goals can just stop us in our tracks. Can stop us in our tracks. What do you think about fear of failure? Does it hamper?
Oh yeah, yeah. I have a little bit of a problem with that because I have had clinical depression since I was 19, and I'll get the job, but then somewhere along the way I just can't make it there. Some days I can't get out of bed, and I ultimately lose a job. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for a job now because I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that I can sustain a job because I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but when I think of that, I think of all my failures, right?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think of my successes.
Yeah.
I think of the time, man, I messed that up. I shouldn't have done that. Or I misstepped here.
Right.
And it builds up in us, doesn't it? It's like it's a burden to carry that fear of failure. That it's cumbersome.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't get around it. It's just so big and bulky that you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can get stuck in that fear of failure. I can get stuck there and lose track, procrastinate.
Or as I used to do it before I would fail, I'd just give up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even try.
Yeah.
It even looked like there was a chance that I couldn't comprehend it or I couldn't pick it up fast enough.
Yes.
And I was going to fail. Oh, I was out of there.
Plus our standard of failure.
Yeah.
I wasn't quick enough. I wasn't fast enough. I wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I didn't pick that up
Yeah.
fast enough.
Yeah, those expectations we have of ourselves
Yeah.
can really screw us up too. We never want to be a doormat. We never want to be not have expectations, good expectations of ourselves.
Yeah.
But we don't want them to be. I can't have them so high that I automatically fail.
Yeah.
Because I got that perfect in my head.
Yes.
I want to be perfect at this because I want to do a good job.
Yeah.
I want to be successful. And that expectation being so high can cripple me.
Yeah.
It can really cripple me. Okay, I'm going to try to read from here because it's not coming on my phone. So, foiled again. Holly says, I fear having so many battles mixed with loneliness that I give up unintentionally. And I get up every morning to a battle with, this is just the way my brain thinks, so, don't. But I get up every morning to a battle. I'm in this war in my life against that's trying to kill me. And that's trying to kill me, some of those things are inside my head. Some of those things are out in the world, but, a lot of what I fight is in me. So I've got to be able to suit up. I've got to be able to have the weapons about me, the tools that help me get to the other side of that fear, right? And we're going to talk about tools here in a minute. But I've got to be able to know that I am safe in my person. And some days that's harder than others, especially when we're talking about the fear of failure, the fear of rejection. Because those hit me internally so hard, right? They stop me in my tracks. The next one is one that's near and dear to me. Number 3, fear of success. Fear of success can stop us. Fear of success is a type of fear that most people don't expect to see on the list. Probably the personal growth lab member. You're all about creating a successful life, and you're already putting effort into making this happen. Yet subconsciously, it's possible to fear success you're actually striving for.
Yeah.
What comes with the success? Right? With I know failure.
Yeah.
I get nothing. Right? I feel bad. I get nothing. I'm still in the same spot. But fear of success. What if I actually get stuff? What if I actually have responsibilities?
Like with my artwork, I think for me that fear of becoming a real artist lies in as far as the fear of success in it is, what if the constraints on my time are unbearable? What if the artwork never gets complete because this comes in and that comes in, and it's all of that just terrifies me.
Yes.
That I'll lose the ability to do what I do because I've gotten everything I want.
Wow. I'll lose the ability to do what I do because I've got everything I want.
Yeah.
I will become overly satisfied and lose my spirit.
Get lazy.
Yeah.
And stop using your craft.
What if I am successful? What does that mean? How would that change me?
Yeah.
How would that change my life? If I actually quit procrastinating, and dug in there, got my goals all set up, started working on them without that fear of rejection from other people and what they think, fear of failure, without the fear of success as well. If I actually got in there and started kicking, what would I get out of that? What would I get out of life? And as silly as that sounds, it can be scary. What if I'm successful? What kind of responsibility does that bring? With success comes responsibility.
Yeah.
all good things are built in with responsibility. Even peace.
Yeah.
Responsibility of peace is to share it. Love, to share it. Success, to share what we've gotten. Right? To be able to get past that. What if it goes good?
Yeah.
I'm used to bad.
Yeah, I'm used to bad.
I got bad. I got
too.
bad down pat. Understand shit. Yeah, okay, I got
Good
that.
is the problem.
Yeah, I know the good stuff. What do we do with the good stuff?
Yeah, what is it?
And it sounds silly, but especially early in recovery, I was terrified of happy. They told me about that pink cloud, and I thought, oh, that'd be great. I'm afraid I'll fall off.
Yeah.
So that fear was always there. That inability to let go, to enjoy that moment, because of fear, because of what I'm accustomed to.
Yeah.
I'm used to fear. I'm used to procrastinating. I'm used to shutting down. I'm used to stifling myself, because sometimes not knowing is so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Right. All right. I'm trying to read. Tanisha, I've been feeling so isolated and alone. I'm glad you're here, sweetie. I'm glad you're here. Kim's in the house too. Good deal. I'm going to throw that down in anywhere this shit. So fear of success. It says fulfilling our true potential is scary.
Yeah.
Being all that we can be. Why would that be scary? What if I slip off? What if I misstep? What if I gain everything and then lose it? Right? Maybe it's because we don't actually feel worthy of success.
Yeah.
Maybe I think I don't deserve it, and that's that basis of that fear. That wanting more, but being afraid of having more. Yeah. Okay, fear number 4, fear of ridicule. This is more subtle form of fear of rejection, but it's still a massive limiting factor for many people around the world. When other people don't believe in us, when we bring a gift, a thought, an idea, a possible solution to something, and people ridicule that. Well, I can be afraid to say anything because, well, what if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
What if they think I'm wrong? What if they say something that goes against what I believe? Where does that put me?
Yeah.
You know, other people's words are so powerful. In Seeking Safety, we talk about words are like knives, and they cut. And once you cut someone, you can't uncut them. That scar will always be there. And most of us are riddled with scars.
Yeah.
From other people's words, from other people's rejection.
Yeah, I remember when I was just graduating from high school, I wanted to go to Brockport College and play soccer and softball and take special ed.
Uh-huh.
Now, my grades weren't fantastic in high school. I played a lot of sports and I was a social butterfly. But my parents told me I wasn't a good investment and they weren't going to help me at all.
Wow.
Wow.
That has stuck with me my whole life.
Wow.
And, I didn't know about student loans. I didn't know that there's a way I could have done it myself. Nobody guided me, I was just kind of like, I just
I'm
have
sorry,
never forget
sweetie.
that.
That's a cut.
Yeah.
That's a
worse.
scar.
Yeah.
When your
thank you.
foundation, which is your parent,
Yeah.
cuts you like that, that is everlasting.
Yeah.
That is something
Yeah.
that you will be reflected in everything you say and do for the rest of your life.
It gets us to our core.
It gets us to our core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not shaking at all.
Yeah. That's that stuff. It affects every behavior I have from here on out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because that is in your head.
It
isn't
is
it?
in my head.
And
Yeah.
and I think because I think we've all had that experience where someone we trusted, someone we loved, someone we needed input and encouragement from,
Yeah.
said something that just totally destroyed us. It echoes.
Yeah.
It echoes in our soul.
It's
And
always made me feel unworthy and afraid to jump in and be a part of things.
yes,
You know what I mean? I just never feel like I mean, I had some great jobs when I was younger. After I got out of college, I ended up finding out about student loans, and I went to a business school
nice.
and stuff like that. But it still just is an underlining feeling of I'm just not worthy. You know?
Yeah. That self esteem
Yeah.
really has a big part in our fear, I think. That worthiness, that fear of failure. Well, why should I try? I don't even deserve this.
Yeah.
Because of the talk in the back of our brain.
Right.
You know? That conversation that the itty bitty shitty committee that meets daily in my head.
Yeah.
And tells me things, brings up things that other people have said. That ridicule is so powerful, can take parts of us away.
Mhm.
Right. So we've got fear of rejection. Let me go over them quick. Fear of rejection is a big one where we put ourselves out there and we're hurt. We get turned away. We've got fear of failure where we actually try and in the past and it hasn't worked and we remember that.
Yeah.
I go back to that. Well, it didn't work last time. Maybe it won't work this time. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. And that procrastination that breeds unto itself the fear of success and the fear of ridicule. All right, let's see. Excuse me as I try to read. Deidre, I think it's important to feel the emotion, but just as important to be able to let it roll off. Beautiful. I like pass through us. Our emotions form us, create the strength we have. The committee in my brain gets its power from it. That's why I always say perception is everything. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. We got power. We do. We have the power to in your life. There has been at least one time when you stepped over fear into courage and into action. You got up this morning. Ta-da. You all made it here.
Mhm.
That's big stuff. I made it here. That's big
Yeah.
stuff.
It is.
It's big stuff. We've all been successful, but all we remember sometimes is the fear. Is the fear. It's a good thing to be afraid. There are things we should be afraid of. There are things we should do to take care of ourselves. But when it becomes so overwhelming that I cannot take my next step, that's when I need to look at it. That's when I need to figure out is fear going to control me? There are two ways to look at fear. F everything and run, or face everything and recover.
Good.
And I have been in that F everything and run for decades.
Yeah.
Decades. So many things that could have, but I was too afraid. I was afraid of that failure, of success, of ridicule, of rejection. Right? And it stopped an opportunity. And that's where regret comes from. I don't want my fear to cause regret in me. You know,
Yeah, regret's a terrible feeling.
I think it's the worst.
It
The
is.
things I didn't do.
Right.
Even all the shit I did in my life that I regret, it's the things I didn't do that I regret.
Right.
All right, some things we can do to overcome our fear. You know, I always like to have a little bit of a solution. Let me see what time we got. Oh, we got time. We got time. Realize everyone has fear. Everyone has fear. It's human nature. Many people are afraid of something, but they simply don't show it. We're not alone. I always heard, don't judge your insides by somebody's outsides. You know, I can walk up and I got the nice posture and I got the, I'm talking, I'm bullshitting, I'm blah, 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 right? And you may think, oh, she's very confident and capable and da 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 da. And I'm just a scared little kid over here. You know, everybody has fears, and I think we all, especially, have that fear of rejection. Start slow. Understand that we're not the only one that's afraid of being real. I'm not the only one that's afraid of going deep and seeing what's in there. You know, scary in there because of the unknown, because of the information I don't yet have. But to know that everyone is in the same boat, everyone's in the same storm. We're all in a different boat. Some are yachts, some are rowboats, some are dinghies. But everybody's in that storm of fear, right? So know that it's not just me that feels like David and Goliath against the world. Many people wake up in the morning with that dread of, okay, what's today going to bring?
Yeah.
You said about perspective, and that's it. If I can take for a moment and just say, what's today going to bring? Same words, same thought. But if I can shift it a little bit, if I can shift it a little bit, it helps. The second one, identify and write down our fears. Make them real. Put them down on paper. Let's see who we got. We got Bonnie. Holly says she needed this today. I'm glad you're here, sweetheart. And Darlene's in the house calling out Cat. Miss Cat. It says write down exactly everything you're afraid of. Be specific as possible. Label to which of the 4 categories your fear belongs. Sometimes fear can belong to multiple categories. There is power in writing, I think.
Yeah, I'm starting to do some journaling, and I've been listening to Lisa Kay at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of trying to implement what she's talking about by writing.
She's got a lot of good ideas.
Yeah.
Lisa Kay's on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m. It's a good way to start your day.
It is.
It's a good way to start your day. All right. So, identify and write down the realistic worst case scenario is the next one. What is possibly the absolute worst thing that can happen? I was talking to a lady about a week ago, and a lot of possibilities could happen in the situation that she was involved in. I mean, it could be very simple or it could be life-threatening. So of all that, I said, think of the absolute worst case scenario. And we talked about that. And I said, now take it up a notch. What's something that's not as bad as that? What's something that you can wrap your head around? Whenever we feel fear, our mind will greatly overestimate the worst case scenario. We need to identify our realistic worst case scenario beforehand and write it down. This way we could refer back to it rationally in moments when we're irrational. You'll very likely see the rational, realistic worst case scenario is not as bad as our mind made it out to be originally.
Right.
You know, I'm going to lose everything. which could be a possibility. And we want to be able to identify what is absolutely the worst thing that can happen. So that's our baseline.
Yeah.
If I can prepare for that, I can be ready. Right?
Yeah.
So when it happens up here, it's not as bad. I'm already cool. But when I'm ready for worst case scenario, I'm prepared. I have a plan. And I can deal with that realistically. Then anything happens that's less than is cake.
Yeah.
It's cake. So the worst case scenario in a situation is good to know. It's where we don't want to go. And that can also help us identify ways we can do things so we don't get into that worst case scenario. Right? Identify fears in the moment and focus on gratitude. My favorite. Whenever you feel fearful, become truly aware of what type of fear it is. Replace your fear with gratefulness. This is a trick I learned from Tony Roberts, who says that fear disappears whenever we're grateful. You can't be fearful and grateful at the same time.
Yeah.
You also can't be angry and grateful at the same time. Gratitude is a power. Remember I said we put on our armor, we get our weapons?
Yeah.
Gratitude is one of the greatest weapons in my arsenal because it cuts through the BS so quick. Right? I am afraid of doing this project. What if I screw up? What if they make fun of me? What if they think I'm stupid? What if I fail miserably and totally screw it up to the point that it can't even be redone? Right? Wow, I need to be, I get the opportunity to do something different. Maybe I need to be grateful for that. Maybe I need to shift just a little bit. And if I can grab a hold of gratitude, it's like a thing. It is a sword. If you can grab a hold of gratitude, the other stuff slips away. It's right. You can't hold fear and gratitude at the same time. One of them has to go. Seek gratitude. And I don't care who you are, where you are, what you ain't got. There is always something to be grateful for. Always something to be grateful for. Right? The simple things in life, breath, another chance, friendship, time in community. There are always things to be grateful for. I got up this morning and I made it here. That's big gratitude for me. Holly says, I did that last night. Remember being homeless with young children with health problems and no one to be there. Thank God I'm not there anymore. Absolutely. If nothing else, we aren't where we were. I'm not, what is it Joyce Meyer says? I'm not what I want to be, but I'm better than what I used to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There is always something to be grateful for. And that sounds annoying as hell. I know. Nobody wants to hear that. But it's true. And gratitude is one of those gifts that when I am grateful, it can be contagious. It can be infectious. My ability to grab a hold of gratitude can dissipate someone else's fear. Right? By giving them the gift of realizing, this may be happening. I may be fearing this, but look at all I've got. Look at who I am today. This is my favorite. Do the rocking chair test. Picture yourself sitting in a rocking chair after retirement and thinking back on the decision that you're making today. What would be the best case scenario? What if I had done that? What if I had stepped out? What would my life be like? And that goes back to that regret.
Yeah.
I want to be sitting on my porch, tired as hell, wore out from everything I tried to make the world a better place, from everything I tried to make me a more humane person. That's what I want. I want to be able to sit back and go, you know what? I tried everything.
Yeah.
I tried everything. What a miracle that would be, because it is those. I still have those dark times when I think, what if I would have? What would my life have been like then? But I've got to trust that I'm where I'm supposed to be, right? But take a step back. Think about when you're retired and everything's all settled. What would it have been like if I had made that choice? Right? How would it have turned out for me? The last one Alan started with: take massive action against fear. Action kills fear. Inaction and procrastination feed fear. Take massive action, and your mental blockades will start to become weaker. Do it now. Now is the only time, right? Oh, now is the only time to face our fears, to be in connection with our team, our tribe, our entourage, to be in connection with higher power, to be in connection with ourselves. I have hidden from myself for decades in fear, just because I didn't want to come out and see what was out there, just because I didn't want to go in and see what was in there. Right? Fear can stop us, but action and more action is what creates a bridge from fear to success, right? Fear can come against us, most definitely. Always, always. It can get out of control. It can spin. The littlest thing can spin me out of control. But I've got some tools today. I've got some tools today. And if I had to pick one, it would be gratitude. Hold on to your gratitude. It is the most powerful tool in our toolbox, because, like I said, gratitude cuts through the bullshit, especially the stuff the itty bitty committee having a conference up there. They're having their spring conference in my head this year, so they've got charts and graphs and movies. It's amazing. They're on YouTube. Oh, but I can interrupt. I can interrupt their meeting. I can interrupt their meeting anytime by knowing, first of all, that 100% of the time that I've gone through trauma and hardship and difficulties, 100% of the time I have been successful because I'm alive. I've got another chance. Let's not let fear cheat us out of today. Let's open our hearts up to gratitude, to our fellows, to the world, so we can go out there and fight the good fight. Fear and all. What is it? I can't remember the definition of courage, but it's about doing it. It's about doing it anyway. Even doing it afraid. Even doing it afraid. Um, Holly says it's odd to share. I think I can't succeed in helping myself grieve properly. However, I need to grow from it. Every time we face a fear, we grow and we get stronger. It's like any other muscle, right? So keep pushing, keep facing. You're not alone. You're not alone. You've got us. You've got the warm line there, 833-390-7728. 833-390-7728. Call us anytime. Don't let fear get ahead. Okay? We have power today. We just got to come together and use it. I want to thank you all for being here. Thanks for the input. Thanks for being out there, everybody. I hope today brings you nothing but peace, success, and love. All right. Keep peace, share love.